The following program is an Animal House Radio production.
And we saw this picture and we thought this was adorable. Mike, please tell the person right now to call the show.
I hope I pronounced this right. Violetta Madej.
Call the show 416. I got to find the number for the show. 416-785-0680. 416-785-0680. Your time is going to start in exactly 4 seconds. We need to hear from you by 8:30 or you do not win and you go to number 2 and then someone else can win. So once again, call the show. Is that your dog? 416-785-0680. This is our first contest. You're listening to I was going to say In the Ring. It's an old show I used to have. You're listening to Animal House Radio, brought to you by Hills Pet Nutrition, the makers of Science Diet and Prescription Pet Food. Happy holidays, everybody. We're going to be back in a couple of seconds. Animal House Radio, brought to you by Hills Pet Nutrition, makers of Science Diet and Prescription Diet Pet Food. Please ask your veterinarian for more information. We're going to actually keep the lines unblocked right now because we know we have a call, so we're going to let that call go because we are still waiting. We've got 3 minutes. You have 3 minutes, Violetta. Excuse me once again if I pronounce your name wrong. 3 minutes you have to call the program. 416-785-0680. 416-785-0680. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you a little thing that I always like to do because we got 2 of them. It's always nutritional, and it's Dr. Mike's Nutritional Nugget.
Alrighty, today's nutritional nugget is kind of unique because we're going to the 2008 year in review. 2008 marks a very interesting year for Hills, our number one sponsor, and that's because 60 years ago they invented brought forth the very first prescription diet in North America, and I want to give you a little history on it because it's kind of interesting. In 1926, a veterinarian by the name of Dr. Mark Morris graduated from Cornell University Veterinary College, and he started up an animal hospital in New Jersey called the Raritan Hospital for Animals, and that's in Edison, New Jersey. So he started that hospital up 80 years ago, and in 1939, 11 years after being in practice, he was approached by a gentleman named Morris Frank, who was a blind man. And he had his guide dog, Buddy, and essentially Mr. Frank was traveling around the world introducing everybody to seeing eye dogs. And his dog was a little sick, so he asked Dr. Morris to look at him, and Dr. Morris diagnosed the dog with kidney failure and ended up prescribing him a diet called the Raritan Ration B. Now, what's interesting about that diet is 9 years later, he created a diet very similar to this diet, and he called it Prescription Diet KD, which is a kidney diet. And that diet, even though it's gone through 7 or 8 little transformations, is still sold today and is a wonderful diet for kidneys. So that's just sort of an interesting story that the very first prescription diet in North America was Prescription Diet KD by the Hills Company in 1948. And that's my nutritional nugget for today.
It is brought to you by our good friends and the makers of Prescription Diet and Science Diet Pet Foods, Hills Pet Nutrition. Ask your local veterinarian. Once again, www.animalhouseradio.com. If you're listening online right now, you can call. We have 30 seconds left for Violetta to call the program at 416-785-0680. She goes back to the bottom of the list, and I'm going to put. I don't think she's going to call. And she just lost. It's amazing. It's like an $8 million prize.
Even though you just said it was 50.
In pesos, my friend. In pesos. I don't know what the exchange rate is in pesos. No. Or shekels.
Okay.
You know, there's a different...
I like our photo number 2, which is an adorable picture of a gray and white kitten with Santa Claus on, which is quite cute.
Santa Claus.
Oh, it just has a Santa hat and a
little let's see
Santa
those
scarf.
Okay, so cute. Number 2. We're going to start with... Well, we have someone calling. Could this be the winner? We're going to see right now. Is this the winner? We've got 2 seconds.
We're going to find out.
We're going to find out in a couple of seconds because we do have 2 seconds.
Shall I move on our top 10?
Please move on to your top 10. I like the stuff that we're talking about right now.
Okay. Well,
a lot of medical breakthroughs that happened this year as well. We're going to get to those.
Exactly. But number 6 on the story list for the 2008 most interesting things regarding animals was a lady who was actually a victim of foreclosure, which is happening all over the place. She lived in New Jersey, and she had a 44-pound cat that she abandoned, and they ended up calling this cat Prince Chunk. So she lost her home to foreclosure, and what ended up happening is this cat went on live with Regis and Kelly, and believe it or not, there were 400 people that called to adopt him just from going on live with Regis and Kelly. this 44-pound cat, which, by the way, is 2 pounds from the going record, which I spoke about last week. So that's an interesting story of 2008. Another one, if those of you who are familiar with Borneo, it's an island where one of the only islands where orangutans are still around. They found this stick insect. They call it Chan's megastick. And this insect is 22 inches long. That's 2 feet long. Don't want to go there on vacation. His body is actually 14 inches. And when they asked scientists there what this insect does for defense, essentially this insect hangs around like a twig.
Wow.
Just hangs there. Looks like a twig. That's his defense.
Huh. Interesting defense. Let's go to the phone lines right now. Let's go to Christian. Christian, you're on line 1 on Animal House Radio. Christian, what's going on?
Hi, Aaron. Hi, Dr. Mike. How are you doing?
Good. How are you? It's actually Christine.
Christine, excuse me, Christine. I can't read nor write nor obviously spell.
That's okay. I answer to everything.
Is this Christine, the chiropractor, Christine?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I've
How
got a bad tennis elbow. Can you fix it?
She can fix anything. How are things?
Good. How are you guys?
Very good.
You guys have a great show.
Thank you.
Thank you. You got to turn the radio down in the background over there if you're listening
we
online.
just did that. It's off now.
Oh, okay, perfect. So do you have a comment of anything of 08 that you remember?
Animal related?
You know what? The whole thing with the shelter burning down, we need more people in there fixing it, more people helping the animals. We just have another rescue. We do a lot of rescue dogs. We need harsher laws against animal abuse and cruelty.
Absolutely agree.
So once again, someone on my side that we need to kind of make those benchmarks. We need to put some sort of laws in place that these things, we learn from these tragedies rather than relive them, pretty much is what you're saying.
That's right. Somebody has to speak up for the animals.
That's right.
And, in a couple of weeks, we have someone who can speak to animals, and they're going to be on the show and chit-chatting about what they said with Dr. Mike's animal and my animals. It's quite interesting. Chris, for calling the show tonight, we're going to give you a prize. I'm going to put you on hold, and we're just going to take your phone number. And listen, we really appreciate it. Have a wonderful New Year. Do not drink and drive, okay?
Great. Thanks a lot, you guys. You guys are great.
See ya. Bye, Mike.
Bye.
Take care.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Getting back to the topic.
Mike wasn't me, by the way. Mike's her husband.
Oh, Mike's your husband.
Mike's Christine's husband.
Oh. Does he know about the prize?
You're going to tell him, are you?
I am when he calls. I'm going to tell him. Yeah, Adriana, just get her phone number because we are going to give a prize now. Once again, number 2 on our list from Facebook is going to actually be number 1. It's a cute little cat wearing a Santa Claus outfit. It's so cute. Mike, can you please read the name of the winner? And remember, we've changed the minute from 5. You have exactly 3 minutes to call the show to claim your prize. 3 minutes maximum.
Well, Aaron, you're the French-speaking gentleman, and this is all français.
I'm not speaking French.
Well, Danny Moissin.
Danny Moissin. Danny Pierre Moissin.
Even in French.
There you go. Danny, your cat with the Santa Claus outfit, you are number 1. You have 3 minutes starting now, 416-785-0680. Call, claim your prize. If 3 minutes is up, you don't win your prize, and we're going to go to the next one. Mike, continue on, please.
Continuing on, this story sort of reminds me a lot of your sort of behavior. This one was published in Animal Behavior, and they have found that long-tailed macaques, which look nothing like chimps, the males trade grooming services for sex.
How does this remind you of me?
Deb was telling me that you're giving her a massage the other. I don't know. It just seems to be all you talk about. Well, so they found that when these males were grooming the female sexual activity increased, are you ready for this? From 1.5 times an hour to 3.5 times an hour after a good grooming.
Wow.
It's pretty impressive.
Wonderful. I'm enjoying that. And you know what that
making fun of me.
And you know what that brings us to?
What does that
because you know what? I don't believe that.